I'm just gonna start recording. And so welcome to this harmonization of the throat chakra that I am actually very, very excited. So before I jump into straight, love to welcome Victoria and Andrea Cerebral for attending these. Thank you, ladies, for your dedication and devotion of the harmonization journey from the root sacral, solar, heart, and now we until throat. We are at the throat. We are at the midway. Is at the midway, the fifth chakra. We passed the midway. So, so this is the passageway. And before I jump into all of that, I just wanted to check in first of how are you guys doing, being, journeying, processing, integrating, all of that. Well, Onro, since that you are like so joyful, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm doing good this weekend. Yay. um, yes. It is much easier for me, I mean, like for everyone, to be like in the flow and feeling like, oh yeah, alignment, when there's weekend or when I'm somewhere else, then the magic lies in finding the flow in every day.
Well, would you
Yeah.
like to expand that, because we do have time today? Like, I know that you're in this a lot of magic synchronicity and flow that you probably may not experience as many or as much. So just bringing maybe just one magic to share with Victoria and I.
Yeah, also, remember last week I was I had a little trip, about 1.5 hours from where I live into the country, beautiful area, and I had a friend over here, and so we decided, oh yeah, let's go to Booking.com, find a space where we want to stay. And then we were looking at, first cheap accommodation, then a little more expensive, like average. And then then we found a great place at the palace. Not in one was in the palace building, one is next to. And then I let my friend choose, and then she said, oh yeah, I didn't want to go palace, but the place next to. And then we went there, and it was so wonderful because we got extra, like free tea and coffee. We had our own terrace. We didn't know this. It was all like very nice and spacious, that what we knew, but all the extras, the little garden that came with it, and everything was really so wonderful. And then I always notice with the numbers, my key had the number 11, and I'm much about into 11 or 22. And so last time this year I went on holiday and I stayed in a room that was 2-2. So this is 1-1. And so I knew, oh, this is going to be great. And it was just wonderful how everything turned out. Like every restaurant we went to, anything that we did was all felt like in flow, felt like aligned. And it was so good to connect to nature, to the trees. And I spoke my light language there. And it was also so lovely. And I did my yoga there. And it was, that was just so refilling my batteries. And that was so much fun, really. Yeah. And and I just did my yoga. Thank God I could do this. Because yesterday I couldn't. My one eye was hurting so much. I had to keep my eyes closed and just palm my eyes and stretch. And that had to be my yoga for the day. And but that was what my body wanted. And afterwards, okay, my eyes got better after, say, 1 hour. And then at least I could do the work that I wanted to do. Yeah. So that is the day flow sometimes at a minimum level. Yeah.
Yay. Thank you for sharing. Just hang on just 1 second. I just fix this. Why is it purple? I don't know why my hair is purple, darling. Why my hair is purple?
It's only in this
Yeah,
call.
it's beautiful anyway.
It's only in this
Doesn't
call
matter the
because
color.
it's aligned with the
Oh, hi,
sound
Tony.
that you choose for this harmonization.
So what I'm witnessing here, Andrea, is when I check in with you, right? You are like, let's say the number is just 1 to 8, right? You are only talking about 1 to 8. When I ask you to expand that, you are talking and sharing from everything. You're using emotions, you're using colors, you're using feelings, you're using your reflections, and tying to for this morning, and now you're not this morning, your morning, which is like 1 hour ago. So that is literally to express of what is in your life and how you feel. And that is our throat chakras expanding when we describe more. When you look at that moment and you expand that. So it's able to, so this way we're able to share from your heart, from our heart. That's what you just did. So that is really beautiful to witness that. So when you talk about it at the end, you're like, that is so good. Can you feel that? So you actually still have that in your body, but you feel all the expansion. It just is already in your body. And it's not that, oh, it's that moment that I feel that, but you have carried that moment back to your body and that become part of you. So yeah. So I just wanted to point it one out for you, because a lot of us that, especially the starseed, we do have this the throat chakra problem that always wanted to stay behind the screen or stay behind whatever that thing is, right? Like we cannot talk, cannot expand more. And I was one of them before. And I think that you heard many of the story that I was behind, like in my work, I never need to present. It's always supporting and just at the back, literally the back behind of my boss. And then when I mature, I stand beside of my boss. But whenever there's any party, any meeting in the front, right, I will prepare. But my boss told me, Delaney, you can present this. No, I don't want to. I'm scared. So again, going backwards of that, step one, step back. And again, when I have my own business, is one step, like 5-foot step out, and then even 10-foot step back. You were like, okay, I'm gonna do this challenge. I'm gonna open up and talk about myself. And then tomorrow, Lillian is gone. So that is like fear of being seen and fear of being talked and share about yourself. And the fear is there, and it's all in these throat chakras. But when we tune into our feeling and able to see the colors from your heart and through your heart by what visual in the vision, and when we encoded that feeling or vibration of you feeling or frequency or energies of the nature that you would describe, you're able to actually express that. And a lot of the time as well, when we journey, we will lose the word. The word it no longer have that right frequency for us to share. And sometimes I can't find any word to replace that. I can't find even a word to really explaining what I'm doing. That is normal, because the word that we know is only limited understanding. But we were able to expand it when we in the spiritual moment, like home. Normal people will know that, oh yeah, this is home. That's it. And you say home in the heart, what do you mean? You don't get it. So there's a lot of things home meaning it has expanded when we become conscious. So in this way, it's a lot of metaphor and of analogy. We feel into that. And then we're able to use our throat chakras or throat to actually describe, which is expression literally. The throat is literally to express. And not only the expression, the throat is encompass or included the smells, the taste, and the smell, the taste, and the hearing. So it's together of these. So that is interconnected.
Yeah.
So that is when you in the holiday, those activated in flow. So yeah, so the chakras is the energy centers. So whatever we feel, we see, we sense is flow in and out of that chakras. Energy exchange in the chakra in the energy center. So you feel that inflow. And when we feel into the stuckness, so we're clearing the energy center and chakras. So I'm just going to be saying a little bit of that. So explanation. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing.
What came up for me was that it's also to do like with consciousness, like what you're aware of. You know, when, like, say some years ago, it was the normal thing not to really say what I thought, for different reasons. First, you know, you don't want to be like too much for others, so that they don't whatever say, oh, she thinks she's better than we, or, you know, we don't like her, or any of that kind of thing. And so, not to say the wrong things, you know, not so anyone would be angry or whatever, feel offended or feel triggered by anything. And that was kind of normal. And also not say something that I would feel a little bit of ashamed of to tell about, you know. Yeah. And now you see, that's much easier for me to understand first. Okay, we've been kind of programmed into this, and now we can actively choose to say, okay, now that I see here I hold back because of whatever that was, now I can choose to say what I think at the moment, even though it might be new or scary for me. Yeah. So, that it takes some trust and some courage to open your throat as well, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
And practice. And it's this, I don't want to take up too much space. This is what it's still in me sometimes, that I think, oh yeah, I just say a little bit and don't go too big on this because others want to share too. This is not my show. This is, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, okay. So how can I keep this short? And then, of course, if I keep it short, then it's more the mind thing to get to the facts. And when I say, okay, feel free to expand here and have more of this time spaciousness, then, of course, okay, then it's more about, yeah, and I feel this and the colors and yeah.
I know where I know how you feel about, like, not to share too much, because when I started my spiritual journey in the sisterhood sharing, and I share the things that pretty similar, pretty like abnormal, let's say. The word that I used, abnormal, back then is abnormal, but I just been through of myself. I was describing what I see, because in the sisterhood, in the circle, right, feel and see and all of that. And when I share a little bit more, and one of the sisters with Jamin, he said that, Lillian, it's just that we only have this time. Can you share just a shortcut of it, just a little bit of it? So from there, I literally felt that not being heard, not being witnessed. And this is a lot of sisterhood wounding in the sisterhood circle, because it's just like, okay, all sisters gather together, but you actually not being heard, not being supported, not being held. And that is still like this in a lot of the not only the circle, but also in the society. So that is a very huge wounding on everywhere. Yeah. So without saying a little bit more, Victoria, how's your week going?
Yeah, the week is going all right. Let me just go back into the my later. But what I wanted to reflect on about what we just shared is, so the way I see it is there, like, of course, there are multiple layers, but it's like, how do we feel when somebody kind of like numbs you, right? So it's like, don't do that, don't speak, don't, right? And then like we contract, of course, but at the same time, this search for outside validation is being triggered, right? So basically, when you have this strength inside and you know what you're sharing, what you're saying, and holding yourself solid, you are kind of like wait a moment, I haven't finished. I know what I'm saying. It's important, like, so it's like, you know what you're doing, right? And then you have this like strength inside for you to be able to actually have this solid capacity of sharing and knowing, like, okay, this is important what I've got to say, and I have to have this like full performance of completing what the energy is sharing, right? Because it's the energy that we're sharing, right? And the other thing is that, like, I also ran a program before, which was called Speaking Booster, which was about ability to communicate better. And in that container, previously, it was like long time ago, 21-day practice. And in that container, the most important part was that actually we're learning to give space for someone else's performance in a way. So we like, it's a precious gift to have this like presence for someone's speech, right? Instead of like waiting to say, like, all this like inner dialogue or interrupting and like, okay, but so, and I mean, I interrupted a lot in my life. I have this like, I'm still learning, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect in that, absolutely not. Sometimes I can't hold it, and I know about that, but it's just a matter of like, okay, the person is having an experience sharing his heart, and we are having an opportunity to hold his space for him to be able to speak. And no matter like if we agree or disagree, we're just actually giving him opportunity to share what he's got to share, right? And then of course we can express, we can communicate and things like that. But in that container which I was running, that was easy to do because we had like a voice notes container. So everyone was supposed to record voice notes at least 2 minutes, but people would go into 15 minutes to and longer, depending on like how much they had to share. But it's the thing is that, like, in this modern world of like fast forward, fast speed, people are not able to actually give presence to see what the other. I was like, oh, I'm taking too much space. Oh, I'm too big. But like, oh, and we keep everything numb, the feelings, the emotions, the expression, all of it. And it's actually like, why are we doing that? Is it because we're trying to be a good girl, a good boy? Or is it because we want to be accepted, we want to fit in to the box which we do not belong, and there are many things to it. So it's just kind of like, yeah, there is a lot to dig in. I recorded a podcast about throat chakra block before, and when I was recording that, that was like a very big, like energy for me, because also like for people who listen, because for me it's like, the society is numb. The society was made this way for people not to express their thoughts and feelings, for to be manipulated. Yet when there are people being activated and allowing themselves to actually share their thoughts and feelings, that's the moment you actually merge the sacred and the throat, and you like allowing this life force to go through you and to have form. And that's the moment where you're allowing to actually, create or say that you agree or disagree, or, share your words and wisdom. And it's like a next level. And that's actually what we are to unlock, because we cannot like create our own business or expression without that. That's like the most important thing. And when we are talking about, your own service or your own, teaching, like what you want to do, to coach, to run, whatever meditation or what it is, it's always like overcoming this fear of being judged, fear of being, too much, or, oh, sorry, I'm taking too much of your attention and time. Like, why? Right? I mean, actually, it's not about that. So like those who are aligned and they want, they're actually very greedy for your energy and expression, and they're there for that, like, so there is a lot to think about. This is an important one. Yeah. And if
Yes.
you ask me about me, I just very quickly, I don't want to take too much time of you. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. A lot is happening. I'm embracing the change. I just noticed before the call. So I am having this little kitten next door in the garden, in the bush. He's like abandoned. Nobody wants him, but he's hiding and sometimes he's crying. And I gave him food. And now just before the call, I see him lying down near the plate, patiently waiting for the new food to come. And I'm like, oh, maybe after the call, if he's still there, I will be able to take him. But maybe he will be, like, oh, the food is not coming. I don't trust God anymore, like, so it can be that way. But yeah, so
Mm.
thanks for it. And I also had my baby, what's called, my brother's son born recently.
Mm.
So this is the big one. Yeah. Many different changes on many other levels as well, but it's another story. Thanks.
Thank you, Victoria, for sharing. And I will reflect back on what you were sharing earlier, parties. It sort of reflected me back to my priestess journey, as go back to the sisterhood circle. Is I know that the ordained priestess always tell me, and also I picked this one up really, really deeply, as whenever, whether you are hosting or you are not hosting, is when you are in the Zoom, before we step into the Zoom call or whatever circle that you intention to be there, you put down everything what is beforehand, and then coming in to connect deeply and full-heartedly with who is presenting or who is attending or participating in the Zoom Connect. And we share in the empty space of the room. And so that we be present. And then we can receive others sharing in the deep listening and being witness or to witness the participant or who needs that. So that is something that I wanted to bring coming here is share and speak from the void. Share and speak from the womb space. So that is what I wanted to share, which is it's sort of like coming back of that teaching of that, with that whispering coming in just now. So I was like, wow, this is cool. So I love that. So
Yeah, what you just mentioned, like speak from the void. It's very actually deep, like when people are preparing for a speech or for a class or for, whatever, some people are even writing every single word and trying to learn it. And, like, or people who are speaking not their own wisdom, but something that they learn, and they're afraid of making a mistake, or something like they present in the product which they have no passion about, these kind of things. And it's really hard. Because when you actually speak from the void, from the empty space, from your heart to the hearts of others, you don't have to prepare. This is so much more effortless. It is so like flowing. It's just easy. And the only thing is to learn how to trust yourself, right? But it's a big one. But it sounds easy, but I mean, it's a journey. But still, it's making your life much easier. You just trust in the God and the divine energy coming through you, and then you know it's for the highest good of all, because you trust the container that you have created within your own vessel.
Yes, so bringing into that, when you said the energy coming through, so with the throat, we had the front of the throat and the back of the throat. The front of the throat is emotion. We share our emotions. So what is the back of the throat? Feel into your throat at the back. Have you ever felt it? So just breathe into that back of the throat. What does that really mean? We know that probably like what's the front of the heart and the back of the heart, but just feel into the back of the throat. And that is also part of the chakra system too. Can I have your phone for a minute? Okay. Yeah, so would you like to share a quick one, or how do you feel at the back of the throat?
I feel I haven't done the Celestial Healer's homework. I feel guilty.
Today is a very good one. It's a very simple one. Victoria is really, really good, because I was feeling it, and it's really good practice that I'm gonna bring into a very mini practice that is so simple that it's just like wow. So the back of the throat, Andrea, how do you feel at the back of your throat? You can breathe into the back of the throat and see how that feeling, and bring the energy focused on the front and bring energy at the back.
I'm feeling numbness in a way, like still like kind of like trying to unfeel what sometimes is uncomfortable, and yeah, that kind of feeling.
Thank you for sharing and recognizing it.
For me, it's not so easy to feel what is at the back, because the front is kind of dominating. Wants my attention.
So the back of the throat is holding the divine will. It's a support system. So our throat, if you could feel at the back of the throat, there's a big lump, big bone there, right? So that is the vertebra of cerebral vertebra of C3, C4, and C5. So if you touch on like that, inside is the bone, it's skeletal bone, right? So if you like this, look. So they are like this. So C3, C4, C5, they are moving, right? So that our neck is moving. So think about 3, 4, 5 is moving, and I want you to do this practice, and you just feel into that. So whenever when we breathe in, when you do straight meditation, let's say, when you sit and meditate, when you breathe, you try yourself, whether it's deep breathe or breathe in and out, just normal one, So now you try this. You just follow me because you could see 3, 4, 5 of the vertebrae like this right at the back. When you breathe, the nature of our skeleton is moving up, like unintentionally do not move your head. It's just like a nature or natural body movement. It's just that you can stand up. Sometimes sit down might be a bit limited yourself. I have these stand up, sit down practices. When you breathe in, more breath. It's inviting more oxygen into your lung. And that is the nature of skeleton working. Do you feel more air going in? Instead of sitting straight, it's a bit rigid on the lung area. So when you pull up the front and the back, especially you exercise that. So when we not exercise C3, 4, 5, I do it this way, you straight at the back, you rigid. And rigid here, you might feeling layer of the numb or layer of no active. Activate the back, activate the divine will, is activate the support system. You know when in the movies, when they fight, that people at the back, and then, right? When you're being attacked at the back, what do? Yeah. And then you literally break off your breathing. Not slash, consecutively, it's just at the back. When this, like this, and then you just, this is where the break of the flow. C3, 4, 5 on the back of it. So any of these got injured is a dislocate. You normal breath, the heart need a breathing. You dislocate this passageway, the heart cannot receive either. So yeah, so that's why this one and this one heart and this one is a passageway is really important of the connecting. So I was feeling into just now when I was breathing, I was like, oh, actually, you know what? My nature of my body when you breathe, it's really going up and down. Just like when the fish swim, the fish don't swim like that. The fish swim like this. It's nature. So yeah, they swim like this, they're still like this. They don't spring, they don't float. This is like when they do this, they're floating, they already died. That's my symbolism. But that is the truth. So yeah. So that is how you could feel at the back of it when we move. It's a support system, skeleton in our support system. So when we not feeling at the back, so it's just like, where do you feel lack of support in your precious life? That's part of that too. And the throat part, like today, as I said that, why am I like, oh, that's supposed to be the body, that's supposed to be the throat. Like I was sharing, I was feeling into that. I was like, actually, is this for tomorrow? No, it's for today. No, it's today. It's all interconnected. When we talk about throat, it's not only about throat, it's all part of it. So when we talk about the throat, as you were sharing, you are actually harmonizing on your own throat. Because you're constantly expressing, constantly talking, constantly exercising. You're actually consciously working through that part of you. So yeah. And consciously connecting, like you feeling the heart, I feel good, you connect. You consciously connecting. So yeah. Is someone not sharing the love? Not sharing the joy? How are you? I'm fine. Right? Even though they smile, not right. So nothing wrong with that. But the things that the more they do it is that numbness, it's numbing, just numbing mechanism in the body. So that is where I was, when I was writing a little bit of that, I was like, oh, let's do exercise. So that is all really beautiful that is coming out that I'm sharing today. And how do you feel that when I share about this C3-C4-C5 and the practices as such a simple way to experiencing it? Do you feel the difference? Do you feel the shift?
Well, it just brought up to me that I think, oh, why maybe didn't I feel anything? Because, you know, I just did my yoga and I was doing cat-cow, you know, I was actively like moving these parts, you know, so they're kind of relaxed. So maybe that's the reason why I don't really feel anything like blocks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that part. Victoria, how do you feel that when I was describing?
What do you, what do you think about, I don't know the number of the chakra, what is it, 8 or 9, the mouth of God, the one at the back. So I'm just kind of like feeling into that. So basically when that one is contracted, or I don't want to use the word block because it's not about the block, it's just not activated or not fully present, then it's just the divine energy is not fully going through. Yeah. Or like you or someone is feeling lack of trust or lack of support. Yeah.
So we feel not feeling behind it is also the block of the energy in and out. Then if we don't feel it the in and out, we will not, or we will not receive this divine flow of that feeling. So yeah, so that is why the divine flow or your connectivities or the multidimensional self or source or God. So all of that, that's where it's actually from the front is expression is important and the back is the divine will of the supporting. So Wanda, going back to you, yes, you do the yoga and activities. Yeah, you feel cacao and all of that, but do you charge your chakras? Feel into your throat chakra now. You can do other chakras later on. Is this charged? Is this light up? Or is it a little bit dim? Or actually no color? Or dark? Like switch off, turn off. Yeah.
Feels good to me. And when you were saying a divine will, I didn't know what that is. But when you said later support, then I said, oh yeah, I felt like this was just, yeah, it's like kind of solid like support. Yeah, that made sense to me then. So yeah,
going
back
to
the light.
so
not
going
numb.
to this, so I want you to invite you a very short practices. You can go a lengthy process, but this is straight to the focus and straight to the point. So close your eyes. Imagine that 6-3-4-5 is like here. This is your head, right? This is like your neck, but the back of it, the bone, our skeletal bone is actually not straight. It's a bit, like this, like a U curve. 3, 4, 5, right? That is your neck. So visualize that you are, whether you can see or feel, or you just in your body. I don't want you to go out of the body. Feel into this C3, C4, C5, especially the C3. That's where the light coming in. So when I say charge, is this electricity charge in your body? So we know that, whether you know, if you don't know, now you know that our body is electricity charge. We are energy. So a flow of that energies, but now I want you to focus on that area of the throat. Invite of these electricity charges So this electricity charges is blue flame and blue color, however you visualizing it, or blue energy. It flow in this vertebra and vertebra of your throat. At the back to the front, front to the back is clearing and healing of your throat. And this electrical city charge is not like zip you, not zip zap you. It's actually clearing feeling, and it's very soothing. So visualize that electrical charge to that part of your throat at the back. If you want to bring to the front, it's fine, but we focus on the vertebra at the back. And connect. C5, connect to C4, connect to C3. And breathe. Expand your breathing as we practices curving, breathe like up and down. Breathe in, head up. Exhale, breathe down. Just focus on where your throat area and expand that lung. And also now, I invite you to open your jaw, like exercise your jaw. And bring in your own light language right now. Bring in your light, your sounds, your frequency, and your symbol, your code. Infuse it into that C3-4-5. Releasing all those that is implanted in there. Invite the golden light coming in. Allow the golden light to activate the back of your throat. And bring in the original medicine of your soul. And bringing the divine will of the highest and purest frequency from source. And now this energy is sealed in your throat. And we are going to use that as your own medicine for speak up and show up and speak as the guardians of the card. So you can come back to the room and drink water if you have it just right beside you. How's everybody feeling? How are you feeling, Cerebral?
Yeah, feel good. Yeah, was just peaceful, nice. Yeah.
Thank you. About anything else? All right. So how are you going, Victoria?
Yeah, I'm okay. And also calm and peaceful. And yeah, just nothing so specific to be shared, to be honest, at this moment. Thanks.
That's good. So that is completion feeling then. Yeah. Thank you so much for both of you, Victoria and Andrea to present here today. I work on the throat to receive and also sharing. So that is all from today. Thank you. I see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.